Go. Go.
Oh.
Hey, go.
What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 26, season 4 of the Monday Night Wars. I am Chad Talks. Well, rushed it. Scared me.
Russian?
I was not ready. And joining me, as always, this is Jmack Gaming.
You're Russian now?
No.
No. Why not?
Because.
Are you anti-Russian?
No. Well, I mean, when they do bad things, I am.
Define a bad thing
Well,
that they've ever done.
yeah, can't think of anything. Why don't you go ahead and do the go-home shows of Raw?
Are you feeling nervous now?
I'm not feeling nervous at all. I have nothing to be nervous about.
No one want to talk about the Russians. Does somebody don't want to talk about the
I'd
Russians?
just rather talk about the Monday Night Wars.
Oh,
and
now
Raw.
you want to talk about them. All right, this is a true go-home show, Chad.
Okay.
Not a lot going on here.
Not a lot.
Not a lot going on. I'm joking. It's always it's going to be a great time here, Chad. It's going to be a great time because it's Monday Night Raw. We're 6 days away from Battleground live in Phoenix, Arizona. We're here tonight in the Arco Arena here in lovely Sacramento, California.
Ooh.
A perfect city. Chad, have you ever been?
No. Have you?
Yes, I actually flew out of Sacramento.
Nice.
I have been through Sacramento. I had to think about that. Back in June. Let's start the show. Shawn Morley, Triple H, Chad. This is now personal to Shawn Morley. This is on the pre-show, by the way.
Okay.
We didn't start Monday Night Raw with this. Shawn Morley, he's a little battered, but he's not down. He's beaten, but he's not down. He says, you made it personal, Triple H, when you decided you just couldn't put me away.
Just couldn't do it.
You couldn't keep me down. You couldn't finish me off.
Ooh, kinky.
Ew. Chad, grow up, brother. Grow up. You decided that, he invented a new catchphrase.
Nah, it's ooh, kinky.
No, it was not. Ooh, kinky. And he says that Triple H at Battleground in 6 days, you're going to have the same problem. Because I'm just going to keep getting up. And I'm just going to keep getting up. Because it's my dream to be Intercontinental Champion. But now I have a new dream. And it's beating your ass in front of 19,000 people in Phoenix, Arizona.
It's crazy.
What's crazy?
Just
Shawn Morley's got more wins in 2 months here in WWE than 3 years of WCW.
It's wild.
It is. And we also have a match on the pre-show between two tag team partners now. It's Burton and Martin. And I want to see who was better.
Got it.
Gabriel Burton is the better one, apparently, as he beats Dylan Martin in 9:57 with a crunching elbow smash.
Oh, a crunching elbow smash. Sounds like a cereal.
We start off Monday Night Raw. Chad.
Okay. Start off.
Monday Night Raw with these three men.
Incredible.
Hyping up everything they've been through the last 2 months from the beginning of Alex Wright taking the belt, actually, beating Brock Lesnar, taking the belt home, going to Seinfeld, Chris Jericho debuting back in May, 6 weeks ago at this point. Kurt Angle finally getting added to this match right here. Everything that's building up to this main attraction triple threat match for the WWE Championship. It's Kurt Angle, Jericho, and Brock Lesnar, three of the biggest talents in not only WWE right now, but in all of the professional wrestling landscape. You got the genetic freak, the one-of-one Brock Lesnar, Kurt Angle, Olympic gold medalist, and Chris Jericho, Universal Champion over in WCW. We're not afraid to mention their feats over in the other company. We're not afraid.
We're not afraid to mention feet. Kinky.
Why? Come on. Why can't I? Kinky, he says.
Anyway.
I don't remember now that you've thrown me off. Okay, Rat Boys take on Burgercade.
Oh, unlikely tag team partners.
Yeah, they fight against each other at the pay-per-view, but tonight they have to coexist. Ooh. And they do for a little bit. As Ted Callier taps out John Berger.
Damn right I do.
You get an 87. And then after the match, you guys start jaw-jacking.
Jaw-jacking?
Yeah. You're just talking that shit to each other. And you hit Big Rig Fig.
Damn right I do.
What the hell's that about? You're going to take the belt off of him?
I'm gonna. Damn right. Take it home.
We move on. We also have a match right here. Bryan Danielson, Christian Cage. And Bryan Danielson, huge win over here. Over Christian Cage. In 1640. A 90 overall match here. Chad.
Wild.
Why is that wild?
It's just a big, good match between these two good workers.
Are you not expecting 90s?
I mean, I was. You could have told me that would have been a 90. I wouldn't have been surprised.
Bashams, Chad.
The Bashams.
Danny and Doug. They have their biggest match of their life here, Chad.
Okay.
At the pay-per-view.
Oh.
As they take on Danielson and Malenko. And they're kind of on a hot streak right here.
Yeah.
They got a win over the Boston Combat Club last week.
But the Combat Club looking to put a fork in them.
Looking to put a fork in them, and they now have branded forks as Nick Gage's face is on every fork.
Yeah.
You can buy. You can actually buy a. Just let me fucking do my promos without your dumb puns,
Say
Chad.
something. I'm listening.
Forked up. I don't remember what I was going to say. China and Charmel have their match here, Chad. As it'll be China versus Lita at the pay-per-view. Again. But now China power bombs Charmel.
Damn.
In 7:53. Beats her ass, Chad. And Charmel's not her. She's not her.
She's not hurt? Well, that's good.
No, not her. Not hurt. Her.
Oh, okay.
It's like when someone does good in sports or something and you say, that's him. He's him. That's not her. You're not hip?
Okay. Whatever. I believe that's a thing they do.
Oh my God. This guy's not hip.
I'm not hip.
This guy's not hip, everybody.
I've never claimed to be hip.
No. You shouldn't.
I'm more of a hop guy.
I don't think you're hoppy either. You don't like hoppy beer. You like Coors Light.
What's
It
that?
has no hops.
That's a no hops.
Lita comes in, sneaks into the ring with a chair, and hits her in the back of a knee, making Lita trying to crumble. And then she sits on her chair and counts to 10 and winks in the camera.
Okay.
What?
Are you having a last man standing match too?
No, I think she was just doing like a Britt Baker thing where she just winks at the camera and says, "Oh, I'm the boss now."
Got it.
And nothing happens.
Fair.
It's stupid, isn't it, AEW? Tony Khan, you watching this? Don't do that again. It's dumb. Do you think he's watching it?
No. I don't think he's watching. He's too busy trying to buy WWE.
Too busy celebrating a big win. The Jaguars beating Justin Merbert. I'm trying to say Midbert because he's mid.
Midbert.
Get it?
Justin her bitch.
Speaking of bitch, Chad.
That's Teddy Hart.
No, no. Speaking of bitch, I said Chad. Look at this match here.
Oh, okay.
Teddy Hart. Ooh, they do. It's 78 here. JBL. This would have been the second best match in Thunder last week. JBL defeating Teddy Hart in 15:25 with a powerbomb, Chad. JBL on a roll here.
It's crazy.
On a roll. He grabs a microphone.
Keisha, you fat slob.
And he's sick of this bullshit. And Kishi comes out and he says, JBL, you're calling yourself a wrestling god. You haven't done anything in 5 years in this save, brother. We're coming up on 5 years. And what have you done? Failed push 1. Failed push 2. Failed push 3. Failed push 4. This is about to be failed push number 5. When I'm Samoan pile drive you back into the dirt and wipe my ass with that dumb white hat of yours. Ooh. Kishi, stepping up to the challenge here, Chad. We also have Kaiji Muto defeating Ace Steel here, Chad. Ace Steel in 90 is so gross. Because I don't picture Ace Steel as a main event guy.
No.
And I can't buy into it yet. But he's getting 90s. And he's just floundering right now. Big win for Kaiji Muto over Ace Steel. And, Kaiji and Jushin, they're just happy to be back. It's been a while since we've seen these two.
Jushin's holding his neck.
He's actually fully healed now.
Oh, nice, good.
It was just a slight neck sprain.
Little minor injury.
Yeah, but he is getting a little. It's worrying me a little bit,
Yeah, he's getting more injured. Maybe he's getting older.
He's not older, but he's getting hurt a lot, and that's cause for concern. We move on, Chad. Once I hit the next segment, Mudden. Then Mark Henry lays out an open challenge here on the Monday Night Raw Go Home show, Chad, and he wants some action. He says he's gonna. He saw everyone backstage saw what happened to the last guy he beat. So who's going to step up to the challenge now?
Who wants to go to jail?
Who wants to go to jail?
Who wants to go to jail?
And that's funny that you say that because this guy's music hits and it's like, whoop, 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 whoop. It's the big bad booty daddy.
Scott Steiner.
Scott Steiner comes out and gets beaten in 1612 by a death from above.
Poor Scott Steiner.
Well, Mark Henry is not a schlub.
No.
It's not like Major Stash came out, right? And he called out an open challenge and said, "Who's going to jail?" And Scott Steiner came out and pummeled Scott Steiner. Major Stash did.
Right.
Mark Henry. I think these are two in terms of where they're at in terms of main event status or whatever. I think they're equal right now.
Okay.
And I think he would be the exact same over in WCW. He'd be right below the main event scene.
Who, Scott Steiner?
Yeah, probably.
I mean, I don't know.
I don't think Steiner can keep up with Benoit, Shawn, and RVD anymore.
That might be true.
I think he's right there. I think he could get one. I think he could be one of those guys that you could put on, like, B show pay-per-view main event and he get a world title shot. But you're not main eventing Starrcade with Scott Steiner in 2002 right now.
Yeah, probably.
So that's where Mark Henry's at right now. And I feel like that's a reasonable spot right now. We move on. Oh, our main event. I didn't even talk about it because I was panicking. I don't remember why. But Kurt Angle beats Randy Orton here, Chad.
Nice.
In our main event. Forgot to announce that in the pre-show, or not the pre-show, the opening angle of the show. I was too busy talking about everyone's accomplishments and not talking about the match that was booked. And then, everyone starts fighting. And then Mike Tyson breaks it up, Chad.
It's crazy.
What the hell?
What's that to say?
He just breaks it up. He's a man of little words right now.
He's just like breaking up by like throwing hands.
Yep, he punches everyone.
He's just knocking people out.
Well, he doesn't punch Lesnar and Orton, but
right, yeah.
But clearly, he doesn't want to see these guys fight, and he steps up for Brock and Randy and knocks out everyone.
He doesn't want his boys to get roughed up before the big dance.
Exactly, big show, and that's
Big Show's not there.
Oh my God,
96.
Oh.
Ooh. Well, you had a lot of blue numbers, so.
A lot of blue numbers this week, Chad. 3 matches in the blue.
Right.
4 matches in the blue. Well, that's hard to beat.
It is.
Can you beat it?
We'll have to see.
You're going to have to bust out Benoit Michaels if you want to beat this.
Benoit,
it's going to be Benoit Michaels.
Benoit
Michaels back to back to back on the 4, 5, 6 card. We'll see if for Nitro. We'll see if for Pro Wrestling.
And we are here at the Go Home for Nitro. Great American Bash is around the corner, but we got one final stop, Justin.
Thunder.
Well, technically we got more than just one stop, I guess. We've got 2. We've got Nitro and Thunder, correct. But this is the Go Home Nitro. Justin, any predictions on what you think's going to happen tonight?
No.
Okay, interesting. No.
There's going to be some wrestling.
Interesting. All right. I'll start us off. First things first, we pan off to a clip. It's a pickup truck pulls up, and out of the truck it's Bret Hart. And he says, "Hello, Nitro. Obviously, I'm not actually. This was pre-recorded when you're watching this. This happened actually a couple days ago. But Benoit decided to show up to the Hart Dungeon and make his to make his presence felt. So I'm here today at one of Chris Benoit's charity events that that WWE is sending him to show up and be an ambassador. And I felt, you know what, if he can come to the Hart Dungeon, maybe I'll show up for charity as well. And so he shows up, and Benoit, he's doing a meet and greet. He's signing autographs with the fans, and he sees Bret Hart, and he stands up, and Bret says, "Chris Tresari, I don't want to interrupt, but I felt like, in honor of charity, I'm going to have my own little meet and greet today, and all of you people can meet with me, right? And all the proceeds will go to charity. You can meet both of your favorite wrestlers." And Justin, weirdly enough, a big line forms around Bret Hart. I mean, he's the world champion, and no one expected him to be here. Mm-hmm. And while everyone's in line and Bret Hart's signing autographs, he's cutting a promo the entire time. And he says, "See, Chris, even on your best day, you'll never draw more than Bret Hart. I show up unannounced, and I've got a mob of people surrounding me trying to get autographs and pictures with Bret Hart. Chris, you can talk as much as you want. At the end of the day, I'm still Bret Hart, and you're not. And if you're trying to take this championship from me, if you're trying to become the new best in the world around here, Chris, you're going to have to pry it from my cold, dead hands, because I'm not ready to give up that mantle yet. I'm still the world champion, and after Great American Bash, I'm going to take your United States Heavyweight Championship, and everyone's going to know that Chris Benoit was nothing more than a phase in professional wrestling who thought he was bigger than God, and Bret Hart is God. And when you step in that ring against me, Chris, Everyone is going to know that you bit off more than you can chew. Justin, that's the promo of tonight. And we start off our first match of Monday Nitro. We got Kip James and Shane Douglas taking on the Harris brothers. And in this match, Kip James and Shane Douglas defeat Ron Harris and Don Harris in 13:46 when Kip James pins Don Harris with a gunslinger. Okay. After the match, Paul Heyman comes in and he's got a microphone. Of course, Paul Heyman's been managing Shane Douglas, as we know. And they've been Shane Douglas, when he was working with the Paul Heyman guys, was on a roll. But ever since he kind of broke out, he's been struggling. But Paul Heyman's still been in his corner. And Paul Heyman cuts a promo and he says, "Ladies and gentlemen, the two men in this ring right now, Shane Douglas and Kip James, two former tag team champions. These two men have been part of big teams, but they've been struggling. But under the leadership of Paul Heyman, we are going to bring these two men back to greatness. And it all starts with this tag team division. You see, we're going to completely dominate this division, and we're going to prove to everybody why we are the best tag team going today." And then Charles Wright, the Godfather Charles Wright, and the FBI show up. And they say, "Listen, you're here to talk about being the best tag team. Well, get ready, because the FBI, we're climbing up the ranks. And how about this? If you want to prove something for yourself, if you want to show just how good of a tag team you are, then how about next week, a Great American Bash this Sunday? It's you two versus us, the FBI versus the two old guys, and we'll see just what kind of tag team you really are." And Justin, they accept. We've got our next match, Big Daddy V versus Taz, Justin. And Justin, in a good match, Big Daddy V defeats Taz in 15:07 with a big splash. After the match, we cut to the screen. We go back to a vignette is played, but all we see is pitch black, and we just hear a voice talking. Okay. And the voice sounds like Chris Parks. And the voice, and he says, he's cutting, and he says,
We're in Big Daddy v Taz again.
Yeah, the rematch.
Why did they need a rematch?
Because Taz, thought Big Daddy V beating him was a fluke and wanted a rematch. And Big Daddy V showed him it wasn't a fluke, and he beat him. But anyway, the voice shows up, and we hear a voice, and it sounds like Chris Parks, and he's talking about how, "Thank you for watching my back while I've been in here. I was framed for a crime I didn't commit, but it's good to know that, even in this hellhole, I made a friend." And then you hear the voice of what we can assume to be is Ricky Banderas, and he says, "Chris, when we get out of here, we're gonna do great things. I can feel it. Me and you, we're a good team. But I think before we can really prove something for ourselves, I need to show you something, Chris." And Chris says, "What's that?" And he's like, "It's time you meet the Maestro." And then all of a sudden, we see the screen go up, and we see Chris Parks, and we see Ricky Banderas. But Ricky Banderas is wearing some kind of weird little getup. And Chris says, "Ricky," and he says, "From now on, I'm not Ricky Banderas, Chris." And then this hooded figure shows up, and the voice, it's kind of distorted. We can't hear it, but it says, "Chris, welcome." And then we hear Chris Parks, the lights cut off, and Chris Parks just starts screaming. We don't know why. But then the vignette pans out, and that video is being watched on a television. And you see two figures standing there. Abyss, and a man who, Ricky Banderas, who referred to himself as Mil Muertes. They're standing in the ring, or they're standing backstage, and they say, "You've seen the story. But that's not the end. We'll see you at Great American Bash." So that's an Abyss and Mil Muertes. Yeah. But we've got a one-on-one match. Ken Anderson versus Brian Knobbs. And Ken Anderson comes out to Hulk Hogan's music, and he's pretending to be Hogan. He's got the bandana. He's got the red trunks. He's got the little boa. He's doing all the muscles and the poses. And then about that, didn't have much heat into wrestling. Ken Anderson defeats Brian Knobbs in 624 with the Green Bay Meat Packer. After the match, they get in the ring and Ken Anderson cuts a promo and he says, well, let me tell you something, brother, at Great American Bash, brother, the real, the gentleman, Chase Tatum and the real American Hulk Hogan, we're going to show brother, that we are, brother, the best tag team, brother, and he's posing. And he says, but you know what? It's going to take more than just one Hulk Hogan, brother, to beat the Wild Boys. So how about, brother, we get one more? And then you hear the NWO music hit, and Chuck Palumbo comes out wearing like the black and silver NWO gear. And Chuck Palumbo says, brother, two Hulk Hogan's, brother. There's no way the Wild Boys, brother, could beat two of us, brother. And Ken Anderson says, yeah, I know. We used to be so good, brother, but us combined together, we might actually equal one Hulk Hogan, brother. And Chuck says, but just in case, we're missing one final brother. And Ken Anderson says, you're right. So let's bring out our third brother. Come on out here, brother. And Dave Bautista shows up and he's wearing he shows up and he's also dressed as Hulk Hogan, but he's coming out as Hulk Hogan and he's coming out with like a walker. And he says, I am the current Hulk Hogan, brother, the old one, the washed up one. But don't worry, because the three of us together, we equal one Wild Boy. So we might be able to get the tag team championships from the Wild Boys. And then Ken Anderson says, wait a minute, the Wild Boys? And then they rip off their Hulk Hogan costumes and they say, it's going to take 100 Hulk Hogans to beat us. We're going to win the tag team titles and we're going to show why the future is the Wild Boys, and that fossil, that dinosaur, that ghost Hulk Hogan will no longer haunt the halls of WCW anymore. And then Chase Tatum and Hulk Hogan show up, and you know what? They're not going to be disrespected anymore. They run down to the ring, and you know what? They all get in a good old-fashioned fight, Justin.
Wow.
We're backstage. We got CM Punk and Jeremy Borash. And Jeremy Borash says, ladies and gentlemen, I am here with the television champion, CM Punk. Now, CM Punk. And Punk says, Jeremy, I'm going to cut you off right now because I'm the champion and I'm going to do my own interview. And he says, here's the thing. At Great American Bash, I'm going against Devon Dudley. And I got to tell you something, Devon. All right, you've really proved me wrong. I mean, you beat Perry Saturn last week. You've beaten Kevin Nash and Scott Hall with Bubba. You've really proven that you can step up in the big matches. But let me tell you something. All right, there's no bigger match than CM Punk. As soon as I came here, I won gold. I've got to be the best newcomer in WCW has seen in quite some time, and I'm just getting started. Devon, I've done in my first few months.
Come over and you put belts on them?
Yeah, I've done in just a few months what it's taken you your whole career to do, and you still haven't done it yet. You see, as long as I'm around, Devon, you will not be television champion. And then then Bubba Ray Dudley shows up and he says, Punk, you think you're a tough guy? You think on that microphone, you say things that people care about? Well, let's see how you are when you're not hiding behind those little goon squad that you have. You have been making Devon wrestle and jump through hoops. Well, how about tonight, CM Punk? You prove if you belong. I want to challenge you one-on-one tonight. And let's really put the stakes up, CM Punk. You think you're so confident? How about you put the title against me tonight? And CM Punk, he says, Bubba, I don't need to prove myself to anybody, but it would send quite a message if I embarrass you tonight. So you're on. I'll see you out there. And Shawn Michaels shows up, Justin. He gets out of his limo and he says, I heard what Rob Van Dam had to say about me. But listen, I said when I came to WCW that there was a long list of talent that I wanted to wrestle against. And Rob Van Dam, you were the top of that list. You see, Rob, you may think that all I think is that you're some ECW kid, but let me tell you something, you're wrong. I'm impressed. I think you're damn good, and I do think you have the potential to be the future of this company. But when push comes to shove, Rob Van Dam, you haven't won the big one at the main events at Starrcade, and you got hurt. Me, I've main evented pay-per-views. I've had the big matches. This is just one more match. You see, Rob, you think that I've got something the most to lose, but I'm Shawn Michaels. I'm already a big deal. Rob Van Dam, you lose to me. It shows everybody what I've been saying for so long, that I'm the best and you are not. And if you want to climb up those ranks to get a world championship, you have to come to go through me. And Rob Van Dam, people have tried and people have failed to make a name off Shawn Michaels. And at Great American Bash, it's just going to be one more statistic. Now, I'm in the main event tonight, Rob, and I hope you're paying attention, because tonight it's me and the Big Show taking on you and Bret Hart. And after I embarrass you and pin you in that ring, I'm going to do it again at the pay-per-view and send you all the way back to the end of the line. Justin, we got CM Punk versus Bubba Ray Dudley, and about that great wrestling and good heat, CM Punk defeats Bubba Ray Dudley in 13:26 with an arm triangle choke after blatantly cheating. CM Punk makes defense number 5 of the World Television title. Yeah.
So, technically, Bubba got a title shot before Devon?
Yeah, but, CM Punk did it to send a message. He knew Bubba wasn't going to beat him. After the match, CM Punk, Nash, Hall, and Perry Saturn, they're beating down Bubba Ray, and it is an absolute onslaught. Kevin Nash power bombs him. Scott Hall gives him a razor's edge. Perry Saturn hits him with a few pop-up power bombs. Hits him with the rings of Saturn. They're just going back and forth, and everybody keeps asking, where the hell is Devon Dudley? And then finally, after CM Punk picks Bubba Ray up for a go to sleep, Devon Dudley runs out with Stacy Keibler. He's holding a steel chair, and he runs into the ring, and he starts waffling people. He hits Nash with a chair. He hits Hall with a chair. He hits Saturn with a chair. CM Punk rolls out of the ring. Bubba gets back up, and Devon's begging him to go back in the ring to get in here and fight. But CM Punk says, I'll see you this Sunday. And our main event tonight, Bret Hart and Rob Van Dam versus Shawn Michaels and The Big Show. And in an exceptional match, Shawn Michaels and The Big Show defeat Bret Hart and Rob Van Dam. Shawn Michaels pins Bret Hart. Now, I was trying to book Chris. No, well, here's the thing. So Benoit's available for angles. But I can't technically book him for an interference. So instead of booking him as an interference, Bret Hart, the reason why Shawn Michaels pinned Bret with the ropes for leverage is because as soon as Bret Hart was about to pull off a win, to pull off the win here, Benoit's music hits. And he's looking, he's distracted, and Shawn Michaels is able to capitalize.
So Benoit's on a heel now?
After the match, he's just playing mind games. After the match, Bret Hart shows up, or Chris Benoit runs in the ring, and Bret Hart and Chris Benoit, they start fighting. This is a personal feud. They've both taken shots at each other, and now Bret just got embarrassed on the go home because of because of Benoit. So they're fighting, and while that's happening, Rob Van Dam is looking on, and Shawn Michaels super kicks right in the face. Shawn Michaels is beating down Rob Van Dam, but Rob Van Dam is able to turn things around, and he's able to throw Shawn Michaels out of the ring, where Big Show was backstage, was backstage, or not backstage, he was at ringside, getting ready to leave. Shawn Michaels gets thrown into him. Big Show turns around, and Rob Van Dam flies over the top rope, takes them both out. Benoit and Bret Hart, they're brawling to the back, and Rob Van Dam stands tall after the pay-per-view, or after the go-home show, to end Nitro with a 93.
Better.
So.
Better.
But a hell of a go-home, Justin.
Better.
We'll see. It might not be the best show of the week, though. We'll see if Thunder can beat it.
Best than Monday so far.
True. But Great American Bash is around the corner, and Justin, I think I've had a good build-up for this pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So, I'm excited. Justin, what are you most excited for?
For SmackDown.
Oh. Alrighty, Justin, we are at the go-home for Thunder. We've got this and SmackDown, and then we're at the pay-per-views, Justin. Mm-hmm. And what a big pay-per-view I think Great American Bash is shaping up to be.
Okay.
And I'm not going to say anything else. I'm going to jump right into it.
All right. Do what you got to do, Chad.
I will. We start the show off.
Nice.
Maybe not. Juventud Guerrero shows up, and he's got a microphone, and he says, tonight, me and Rey Mysterio go one-on-one. Now, I tried to give Rey Mysterio a deal. You see, I told him, if the two of us work together to take out Ken Shamrock and Minoru Suzuki, then at the pay-per-view, they'd be weakened, they'd be taken out, we could just focus on each other. And Rey, of course, was a little bitch and said no. And he hit me with the whole, if you believe in yourself, anything's possible Ray, there's nobody who believes in themselves more than me. I'm a universal champion. I'm a multiple-time tag team champion. I'm a former cruiserweight champion. This used to be the house that Chef built, but it's the house that Hoovy renovated. This is my brand, and I've been the face of it, and I have never been scared of my own ability. You see, I know I have what it takes to be Universal Champion. I also know that Suzuki and Shamrock would have taken that same opportunity if they were presented for it. Because, Ray, when you want to be champion, you have to do whatever it takes. And a weakling like you won't ever know what that's like, and that's probably why you won't win at the pay-per-view. However, and then Minoru Suzuki's music hits. And Minoru Suzuki says, Hoovy, if you're trying to take me and Shamrock out before the pay-per-view, I'm in the ring right now. Here's your shot. And Hoovy says, Minoru, I think you misunderstood what I said. You see, and Suzuki says, I don't think I misunderstood anything. I think you were trying to attack me. You said it yourself, and I'm telling you, you don't have to jump me. I'm right here. I'll fight you right now. And Hoovy says, Minoru, I'll tell you what, how about instead of us fighting, all right, here's the thing, you go backstage and you attack Rey Mysterio, all right? If you jump him and I finish the job tonight, he won't even make it to the pay-per-view. And then it's just a triple threat, me, you, and Shamrock. And Suzuki says, I think you and I are going to fight. I think we're going to fight right now. And the reason why I know that is because even though you're booked to fight Rey Mysterio, I asked for a match with Billy Kidman, and he gave it to me. It's you versus me right now. And in an exceptional match, Minoru Suzuki defeats Juventud in 1556 by pinfall. After the match, Juventud Guerrera, Suzuki gets up and he picks up Hoovy and just elbows him right in the face. Hoovy crumbles, cuts his face open, he's bleeding. Suzuki then continues to just beat him down. He takes him, he throws him into the turnbuckle. He takes him out of the ring. He's beating him up He throws him over the announce table, and Minoru Suzuki's like looking around at the fans, like soaking it in all the booze. And he goes back, and as he grabs Hoovy, clink, right in the head. Juventud grabs a ring bell and clunks Suzuki with it. Minoru Suzuki then falls, and Juventud, covered in blood, stands on the announce table and jumps, tackling Suzuki, and they're fighting. But Minoru Suzuki is able to, while they're on the ground pounding, Suzuki grabs him and puts him in a triangle choke, and Hoovy passes out as Suzuki then picks him up and continues to beat him down. Security ends up stepping in and separating them, and Justin, Hoovy gets taken out on a stretcher.
Well, that's not good.
We're backstage. Eddie Colon, he's smiling, and he walks in and he sees Shane Helms, and Shane Helms says, "What are you smiling about?" And Eddie says, "Well, I was just put in the Scars and Stripes match. I beat Low D. I'm in the match." And he's laughing, and he says, "Which means, Shane, you're not going to win the Cruiserweight Championship. I am." And then while they're talking, Chris Candido shows up, and he says, I'm happy you're included, Eddie, because here's the thing. The entire story's been around Billy Kidman, AJ, Eric Young, and Homicide. Who's going to be put in? And now you're thrown in. No one's talking about Chris Candido. And that's a problem, because Chris Candido could win the Cruiserweight Championship with my arms tied behind my back. So, Eddie, I'm happy you're in the match, but you're not going to win. And then Shane Helms talks shit about both of them and says he's going to win. And the three of them, they have like a little stare down. And then Shane Helms says, I guess we'll see this Sunday. Justin, we have Vader versus Matt Hardy tonight. And in a good match, Vader defeats Matt Hardy in 9:46 with a powerbomb. And then Vader, he's in the ring, and he says, I don't know who my tag team partner's going to be, and I haven't decided. And Monty Brown comes out, and he says, Vader, I was the runner-up. I had more eliminations. I'm not taking anything away from you, Vader, but I'm telling you, I am offering up myself. I think I've earned that. Let me be your tag team partner. And Vader says, no. And Vader, he's like, you'll regret this. And Vader says, no, I won't. And that's that segment. We've got Eric Young versus Homicide, Justin, and Billy Kidman, he said, listen, we have to have 6 people in the Scars and Stripes, all right? And, Eddie Colon beat a former champion. I think he earned himself in. So he books Eric Young versus Homicide. And in about that defensive man heat, Homicide defeats Eric Young with an STF. Justin, Homicide has earned himself his way back into the Scars and Stripes match.
What?
Yeah. And while Homicide is celebrating in the ring, Billy Kidman, he says, no. We're going to restart the match. Restart the match. And while that's happening, the ref's getting ready to restart it. And Homicide says, before you do, and then he turns and just clocks Billy Kidman right in the face. And then Homicide gets on the ground and he starts fighting Billy Kidman. He's been waiting to get his hands on Billy Kidman for a very long time. And eventually Billy Kidman, he weasels away and he runs around the ring and Homicide's chasing him. And finally Billy Kidman, he gets cornered and he says, Homicide, listen, let's be gentlemen, all right? Listen, you want in the match? You're in the match. That's fine. You're in the match. Just come on. Don't hurt me. Come on. And Homicide, he says, he laughs and he says, don't worry, Billy Kidman. I'm not going to hurt you, man. And he picks him up and he says, we can be gentlemen. And Billy Kidman, he says, oh, thank goodness. And then Homicide says, just kidding. And then once more time, clocks him in the head. Billy Kidman rolls out of the ring, runs away as Homicide celebrates being in the Scars and Stripes ladder match. And as punishment for getting involved in their business, Billy Kidman also booked Lodi versus Bobby Roode tonight in a singles match. And in this match, Lodi drew with Bobby Roode when it ascended into chaos after AJ Styles, Eric Young, and Dark Shark got involved. Rey Mysterio's in the ring for what he thought was the main event against Hoovy, but Hoovy's not here. So Rey says, when I found out Hoovitude wasn't going to be able to compete tonight, I was told I could have the night off. The main event was canceled, and I told Kidman and I told the WCW I wanted to wrestle tonight because I needed to show that a champion always steps up and will never back down from a fight. All right, so I got one better. I want to fight the guy who took out Juventud Guerrero, Minoru Suzuki. You can get your ass out here right now and fight me in the main event. And they have just that. And then about that sensational heat and fantastic wrestling, Rey Mysterio defeats Minoru Suzuki with a springboard hurricanrana. After the match, Suzuki once again, while Rey is celebrating, Suzuki attacks Rey from behind and he's beating him down. Ken Shamrock comes out and he runs in the ring and he's staring down. And Suzuki's looking at Shamrock and he says, they were going to turn on us. Let's turn on them. Let's go. Attack Rey Mysterio, but Ken Shamrock's not listening. He clotheslines Suzuki. The crowd goes nuts. They're fighting. Rey Mysterio, while they're both fighting, drop kicks Ken Shamrock into the rope. Suzuki runs. He ducks. He drop kicks Suzuki in the middle rope. Hits them both with a 619. But while they're going for the 619, Ken Shamrock grabs Rey, and then they're fighting. And then all of a sudden, Hoovy's music hits, and he's limping down the ring. But he's not missing this. He gets in and he starts fighting a big four-way brawl as Thunder goes off the air. And an 89 Thunder.
Worst show of the week.
Listen, this was the go-home show, all right? This is the go-home. This had go-home vibes. I'm okay with 89. No one got hurt. I'll take it.
That was a big risk. You put in Suzuki, putting three of your main event guys in matches on the go-home.
Paid off. Now, Justin.
Define payoff, because you did do the worst.
That's fine. We built pay-per-views. We still got an 89 as far as shows go. It was a good show.
Having them in matches.
Sure, true. But I wanted to show them that these guys aren't afraid to fight. They're all going to be fighting champions. I think you can tell. But anyway, that was the go home for Thunder. We got SmackDown next, and then we've got the pay-per-views, Justin. We will see you guys next time. What's up? We're back on SmackDown, the go home for SmackDown before the pay-per-view.
That is what happens.
Yes.
We're here. Last Friday night SmackDown of... Ooh, a big hug right there by a teammate. Whoa. Last SmackDown before the big pay-per-view. Battleground and Battleground.
Yes.
The two biggest pay-per-views. We're here at the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada for this Friday night SmackDown. And let's just get into it.
Let's just get right into it.
We're here in front of 15,000 sold-out crowd. We got Rene Dupree taking on the Sting WWF, Jeff Farmer. And Rene Dupree gets a big win in 10-14 here in the pre-show.
It's crazy.
Shout out Rene Dupree.
Look at Rene Dupree. Hold that poser.
Oh, you keep it going. He might be better than the real Sting.
He's a poser. He can be better. He might be better. He's a poser. Get a real gimmick.
Okay, Mil Muertes.
That hasn't been debuted yet.
Get You know what I mean. Couldn't think of anything.
He was almost Judas Messias for a hot second.
Couldn't think of an original name.
He was
That's all I'm asking
I generate
for.
like Clarkston Macintosh or something.
Just think of like Manic.
Manic.
Martin and Burton defeat D-Lo Incredible here in 954 here in the pre-show. Got a 63.
Hell yeah.
La Parka defeats Amazing Red in the pre-show, 943, with a Sky Twister press. Ekmo Fatu loses to Test here in the pre-show with a Pump Handle Slam. And our last pre-show bout of the night, Jamie Noble defeats Jack Evans in 10-17 with a diving leg drop.
Wow. Good for Jack Evans.
Good for... Why, he lost.
Yeah, but he lost graciously.
Did he?
Yeah.
He actually raised up a fuss.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck Jack Evans then.
Well, make up your mind, Chad.
I don't like people who make fusses. Just do your job.
You have Hulk Hogan.
I know.
Fire him then.
And he has a complaint. Well, actually, that's not true. He complained about taking a loss to Batista.
Yeah. Okay. Who wouldn't?
Right.
We start off Monday Night Raw with SmackDown. Chad with Taker really just, saying brother, and Kane's right there, brother. Whoa, hey, I saw cock and balls on the TV. I got the TV on. This is bad.
That's bad.
That's bad. What's going on over there?
I don't know.
Night Court.
Night Court.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, they remade Night Court.
Oh, my God. He says, he welcomes Kane back by his side. Says the Brothers of Destruction are back because, there's 3 of them and 1 of me, and I'm going to need backup to beat the final bosses.
I think that's accurate.
And then, Kane's right there, and he hugs him. I love you, brother. And then Snitsky and Gangrel kind of feel disrespected by Kane's...
I don't like how The Undertaker just showed up out of nowhere.
Kane's flopping. Go back to the old side and says, Kane, 2 weeks ago we almost won a fucking title. And Stitzy's like, it was my fault. And Gangrel's like, and you're just gonna turn your back on us to go back with your brother? Your brother? What happened to us? What happened to the Departed? What happened to me? You, Snitsky, Don Callis. What the fuck happened? And Kane, and then Taker's like, don't talk to my brother like that. Kane could whoop both of y'all asses by himself. All right? Now leave him alone. We got shit to handle. And Gangrel's like, what are you going to do about it, Taker? Gangrel's stepping up to Taker right here.
Yeah, damn.
And Kane gets in Taker's way and he says, what do you want to do about it, Gangrel? And a referee comes down to the ring and we get a 1-on-2. Oh, just a 1-on-1 match. Sorry. Kane defeats Gangrel in 708, though.
Oh.
The Departed, no more.
Wow.
We move on.
I thought, wow, what a great little group to fight the final bosses. Nope. Guess not.
The fuck, Snitsky part of that group?
Yeah.
You're out of your goddamn mind. I like it. That would be giving Snitsky something to do, but no.
But nah.
The Gentlemen's Club backstage in their club, and Booker T comes through the door. He's back, Chad.
Who's back?
And everyone hugs him, and he's like, good luck, suckers. You guys are going to need it. If you guys need anything, I'll be right there for you. Gentlemen's Club for life. And they all put their arms in, and they hug and kiss and pop a bottle of champagne. One final party before War Games, Chad.
Hell yeah.
Move on. Well, welcome Booker T back. He took that loss to Stevie Richards pretty roughly at the pay-per-view.
He needed to step away for a second.
Jeff Jarrett, Double J Records, they walk in. Suited up.
Suited and booted?
Suited up, glasses on, they look good. Hair slicked back, both of them.
Ooh, both.
Daniels, no hair.
Daniels' hair slicked back, you say.
And Jarrett tells Daniels that he'll get his reward, his signing bonus, some would say, after the main event tonight, Chad. Jeff Jarrett and Chris Daniels in tag team action in our main event, taking on Kid Cash and Mystico.
That's your main event?
That's my main event.
Nice.
It's a go-home. I don't need Masawa fighting on the main event. We don't need that.
No, time to get a signing bonus.
I got a big signing bonus, Trent. We move on. Shannon Moore and El Samurai, they take on each other for the Light Heavyweight Championship tomorrow night, or in 2 nights. We saw the respect last week on SmackDown, and now we see the respect go inside the ring as they team up, and they gel pretty good together as they get a big win over PG-13 here. And they hug it out, and they still have respect for each other even after that, Chad.
Wow.
These two love each other.
Good for them.
Good. They're going to have a hell of a match. You know,
Hell of
two
a
guys
match.
that actually respect each other, fighting against each other. Oh, now you want to throw the Mark Andrews. Goes. We move on. Renee is super happy that his friends were found innocent, and he's just welcoming back Savan Grenier and Rob Conway back to the main card, back to the mainland, back to home. Chad. Back home, as they were not found guilty of attempted murder of C.W. Anderson and Johnny Storm a few weeks ago. They ran him over with a car. It was obviously them, but I think the cops were paid off.
Yeah, they had to have been.
Had to have been. And they're actually in a match right now, Chad.
Oh, against the Faces of Fear.
And they beat him.
I hope so.
69 when
Nice.
Savan Grenier, head and shoulders above everyone else.
Yeah, I would hope so.
Conway got a 60, Grenier 70, Barbarian and Mink 70 or 52, 55. After the match, Chad, they get on the microphone and they call out. You know, they said, we actually killed the champions at the time. And if we weren't thrown in prison for some reason, if we weren't blackmailed.
Yeah, for committing a crime.
Yeah,
if we were thrown in prison for committing that crime we totally committed.
yeah, if they just didn't wrongly accuse us of attempted murder, we would have won those. We should have been awarded those belts. But here we are having to call out the champion. So Hashimoto, Kojima, we want you at Battleground. So we're going to get Grenier and Conway versus Hashimoto and Kojima. Chad.
Nice.
At the pay-per-view. We move on. Chris Hero defeats Blue Panther in a 72 overall match. That's an all right match for Chris Hero. That's a good match for Chris Hero. Heroes welcome. Welcome home.
Welcome
Chris
home.
Hero will be part of the War Games match in 2 nights.
Big time.
We also have a match here. Mick Foley defeating Scotty 2 Hottie. Here, Chad.
Hell yeah.
Mick Foley getting back in the winning column because he's had a rough little patch. You know, he was main evented Royal. Well, he didn't main event. He was the co-main event of Royal Rumble. You know, he had a title shot of No Way Out, and now he's here 4 or 5 months later, taking on Scotty 2 Hottie in the mid card. He's had a rough little fall of grace a little bit.
Yeah.
But you can't win them all.
You can't.
And he's still getting 96s, and he's still showing up to work with a smile on his face. Knowing that, you know, tomorrow could be his day. And he could be back in the main event picture. We move on to Mick Foley being really happy about that. And Goldberg spearing comes out and spears Mick Foley and Scotty 2 Hottie.
Just spear.
And Goldberg just grabs the mic and says, John Cena, you see what happened here? This is what's going to happen to you at Battleground. John Cena, you're next, you pipsqueak. Called him a pipsqueak. Called him a fucking pipsqueak.
A pipsqueak, you say.
And our main event fucking fumbles because Jeff Jarrett separates his shoulder. This is why you don't book your guys. And I lucked out. This wasn't a main event match. Jeff Jarrett wasn't even going to be wrestling at the pay-per-view. Double J Records still somehow get the win, though. Luckily, because that would have been really weird if they lost. He wouldn't have got a signing bonus.
It shows you how talented Christopher Daniels is. Even though with a separated shoulder, he got the pin.
He did get the pin.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't get a separated shoulder. Jeff Jarrett did.
But even though his partner got hurt,
yes,
he was able to step up and carry the extra weight.
It was a big win. Jeff Jarrett gets the big win, and then, thank you.
Thank you, but Dutch Mantel.
He tells him, he grabs the microphone with his other arm.
My shoulder really hurts.
He's like, God damn it, they separated my soldier, Kid Cash, you kid bitch. Ah, fuck. Chris Daniels, you're really putting your faith in me, Jeff Jarrett. You really were hesitant at first to be the first signee to Double J Records. And let me tell you, I got the biggest signing bonus you could have ever asked for, Chris Daniels. I got you a title match.
Ooh.
And not just any title match, a tag title match. That's Vader.
A tag title match. And you get to pick your partner.
And you'll be going one-on-one
Vader.
with a U.S. champion, Latin Lover.
Ooh,
Chris Daniels, Latin Lover.
That's huge.
And we move on. Our final segment of the night, Chad. Our final segment of the night. Cornette and Masawa. God damn it, Undertaker. I gotta sit. I am sitting. What am I talking about?
I was like, you are sitting.
In 2 days, the prophecy is finally fulfilled. When Masawa came in here into WWE, there was one thing and one thing on our mind. It was world gold. And now, the final boss of professional wrestling finally has a shot to put away the dead man and actually put him dead. Dead. Now, you see, Masawa is the greatest professional wrestler on this planet Earth. Anyone in any company coming over here to take on Masawa, they will be surprised to even get any offense in. My client right here, Masawa, he's going to walk in the battleground, and he's finally going to get it done. And he's going to walk out WWE champion, like the prophecy said, because he is the goddamn final boss of professional wrestling. And The Undertaker, this game is over because he will be defeated by the lights come off.
Oh.
Bum. Keep rolling, 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 rolling. Bum. The two musics. His old music and his new rolling, rolling, rolling American Badass motorcycle boy music. They're mixing.
Like
they're mashing.
The Gong and American Badass.
Yeah, they're mashing together. Bum, rolling, rolling, bum, roll, bum. And the lights come back out. Masawa's not in the ring. It's just Cornette and The Undertaker. And The Undertaker tombstone pile drives Jim Cornette as Masawa just looks on in fear. This is the first time you see a little bit of glimpse of fear in Masawa's eyes. The dead man, not American Badass Undertaker anymore. The dead man Undertaker is back. And it's going to be Taker Masawa at Battleground in 87. Worst show of the week.
Yeah.
But best show of the week.
True. We're right in the sandwich of good and bad.
An unfortunate main event injury, but that's how it comes. I still won, so who cares? Who cares? We'll see you for whatever paper you use first. I don't know which one goes first. I think it's mine, but who knows? We'll see you.